Let me ask you a question. What is the worst mistake you are making in sales right now? Think about it. And now I'm going to tell you that it's a trick question because you can't know the answer actually. That's because the worst mistake that you're making in sales is the mistake that you don't know you're making. The good news is that most salespeople are making a lot of the same mistakes, and avoiding them once it's actually identified is actually quite easy. In this video, I'm going to show you 3 crushing sales mistakes that you may have made before. Check it out. Number 1, talking more than 20% of the interaction. Do you ever find yourself talking more than 20% of the time in a discovery meeting? If so, you're talking too much. In fact, the only time you should be talking during that discovery phase is either to set up a question or to ask a question. The shorter your questions, by the way, the better. And this means that a good sales interaction will range from you talking anywhere between 5% to 20%, but never over 20%. In fact, in my discovery meetings, those initial meetings, I'm doing probably closer to 5% of the talking. Number 2, didn't establish a budget. Asking for a budget scares most people, which is why they typically don't ask. But this is a crushing mistake. But not establishing a budget before presenting your solution is actually much scarier because it will inevitably lead to lost sales and, just as bad, underselling your solution. Getting a budget doesn't have to be hard. It simply requires that you hang in there and you're willing to hold your prospect accountable to giving you some kind of guidance on budget. Number 3, answering a question without understanding the intent. So let me show you what I mean by this being a mistake. You've probably been asked before by a prospect a question like this. Do you do work in my industry? This is a common question that prospects ask. And we usually think that we know why the prospect is asking the question in the first place. But we actually don't. In fact, it can have multiple reasons for being asked. The 2 obvious ones are, first, that they want you to have expertise in their industry, right? That's the obvious one. But what if they don't want you to be working with their competitors? If you say, absolutely, we do work in your industry, this can be what I call a sales tripwire. We never want to answer a question without first asking why they asked that question in the first place. And then you can be prepared to answer it accordingly. So the simple way to respond to any question in sales is to answer something like this. You know what? That's a really interesting question. Why do you ask that? Or that's a really interesting question. Why is that important to you? And now the prospect is going to give you the reasoning behind asking the question in the first place, and you're going to be much more prepared with your answer. So there are the 3 crushing sales mistakes that you may have made before. Have you made one of these mistakes before? What was the result? Be sure to share below in the comments section, and I will be sure to get to every comment that I possibly can. And if you enjoyed this video, click right here for a free ebook on 25 tips to crush your sales goals. Seriously, it's an amazing book and it's free. Just click right here. Also, if you got some value, please like this video on YouTube because that really helps me out. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking right here, right there, in order to get access to a new video just like this one each and every week. And lastly, if you got just one useful idea from this video, please share it with a friend or even 2 by forwarding it on to them. A great idea is the best gift that you can give someone.